The Baltimore Ravens head to the land, Cleveland, that is, for a divisional AFC North showdown. The Ravens have won 5 in a row, 3-1 on the road, facing the lapply lowly Browns, 1-6, 0-3 at home. It's gonna be a dogfight in a dog pound. Make sure you stack that subscribe button, stick that like button, bulldoze that bell. It's the Ravens preview. We look forward to every week here on the Flex Zone podcast, giving you your Ravens coverage how you want it when you need it. God's favorite host back again for another Ravens preview. Sound off below in the comment section. Leave your favorite emoji. Let me know your prediction for the game, keys, X factors, the injury report, anything you want to talk about right here on the Flex Zone podcast. Get into this Ravens preview. Monday night was a delight. We had another Jackson 5 performance. Another week of the Ravens offense being ranked #1 in the NFL. Another Ravens player being Offensive Player of the Week. Whether it's Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. I think the Ravens offensively are pretty much a well-oiled machine with very few flaws. But we got to bring the defense to the front of the congregation. We really have to have a conversation of what this Zach led, along with Ben Pease now, defense is going to be for the rest of the season. We are going into the 8th game of the season for the Ravens. After this game, you're pretty much at the midway point. What you do from here on out, the end of October, early November, will set you up for that December and January. And on defense, the consistent communication issues, the lack of players just simply doing their job and being in the right position is inexcusable, and it's getting to a point where if it continues this week against the Browns, they're going to be need. I already think they need to make a move. If you asked me last week, I was more on the they don't have to. I just want them to get healthy, which we'll talk about in a second. But they may need to go get another piece in that secondary. Is it a Buda Baker? I heard Chase Cisco from the Jaguars. Is it a Jadeveon Clowney, bringing him back to help the pass rush, even though Clowney's hurt? Or is it someone on this Browns roster? They're not going to get Myles Garrett, obviously. I don't think they're going to get Max Crosby, but I don't know. Greg Newsome, one of their corners. What Browns deal to the Ravens? I don't know. They dealt with the Bills, which is still a little weird to me, but whatever. Let's look at the injury report. Let's look at the game coming into it, because I don't really want to take too much of your time. Ravens, Browns. We know the notion of a trap game. We know the notion of is this one of those games that the Ravens may be looking past the Browns? I don't think so. And I think when you get to the divisional games, I always like to say, throw the records out the window, throw the stats out the window. Hell, throw status of former league MVPs and all pros and Pro Bowlers and first-round picks out the window. We've seen divisional games where we've seen third-string quarterbacks lead their teams to divisional wins. We've seen undefeated divisional games lose to last-place teams in the division. You throw the records, the stats, all of that noise, you throw it out the window. Is it a trap game? No, because this is a divisional game, and I think the Ravens know you can't pussyfoot in the AFC North. You can't pussyfoot in the AFC North because you will get got. This is going to be a pack your lunch pail for a 60-minute black and blue collar affair. Tighten your chin strap, put on your big boy pants, and go to work. Be the more physical team and be ready for everything they throw at you. This is going to be a heavyweight, knockdown, drag out dogfight. And I'm not even just saying that because it's the Browns, but it's going to be physical. It's going to be one of those games you're going to feel after on Monday. And I think it's going to be a situation where the dog pound's going to be ready. Dog pound's definitely going to be ready on Sunday afternoon. This is pretty much their last hurrah. They lose this game 1-7. They're pretty much 1-2-3 Cancun. They know they're out of it. They're going to be looking to get as high in the 2025 NFL draft as they can. Probably draft their quarterback of the future with the injury to Deshaun Watson. Myles Garrett could be traded for multiple high draft picks. Other players, I say Greg Newsome. I don't know if they're going to trade other pieces possibly. I don't think Nick Chubb is going to get traded or anything like that. But this could help bury the Browns once and for all. Real quick, the Ravens opened as high as I believe 11-point favorites. They're now 9.5-point road favorites. So if you want to put the money on Cleveland, I wouldn't be mad at you. Not saying I believe in the Browns to win or anything, but if you want to throw some money down on Cleveland, $5 or $10 for them to cover, you might come up a couple dollars. The over-under is 44.5. I'm leaning under. That's just me personally. But as you see, Lamar Jackson, 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 18-10, 1,810 yards. He is MV3. Derrick Henry on pace to break the all-time rushing record by Eric Dickerson. Already has 873 yards. If he has a big day on Sunday, he could cross the 1,000-yard threshold. Zay Flowers, we'll get to him in a second. We know he didn't practice, but let's get to immediately now with the injury report. TJ Tampa is out. Marlon Humphrey looks doubtful with the ankle injury, which sucks because he is their biggest playmaker on the secondary. A career resurgence year for Marlon Humphrey. One of the best pieces to an overall lackluster defense so far. But Zay Flowers didn't practice, but he's listed as questionable because of the ankle. Even if he plays, he's not going to be at 100%. So in my opinion, I want Zay for Denver. Him and Surtain, that's going to be a good matchup if he can get healthy. If he has to sit out this week, same for Humphrey. If he has to sit out this week, get healthy and be right for Denver when we're going to need them, I'm okay with it. I think they still should be able to beat the Browns. We know Nate Wiggins is banged up. I think he will try to play. But if he doesn't play, like I said, we do have the returning Arthur Millette returning for the Ravens. He missed the first 7 games, but he is back on the field this weekend for the Ravens flock. And boy, oh boy, I'm glad to have Arthur Millette back because he is a playmaker, and I think he can definitely help the secondary. Thank you for the Arthur Millette back. So he'll slide in probably to that nickel corner. Him and Washington will be on the field depending on how much Wiggins plays. And if it's no Humphrey, which I'm going to think he doesn't play, same with Zay, I don't really think he may play either. But if it's no Humphrey, then Wiggins, if he doesn't play either, Millette's going to step right into and play a lot of snaps. Him, Washington, obviously Brandon Stevens will slide over to your corner 1, which he already is kind of. So you would have Stevens probably on Judy, and then you have, I guess, Millette, Washington, and depending on how much Nate Wiggins plays. But you get some depth and you get some help back with Millette. So good to see him back as well. For the Browns, no Jedrick Willis. That is fantastic. I know he's been battling some injuries. No Jedrick Willis is good because the Cleveland Browns do have a good offensive line, but they have some injuries. And him being out, let's see if the Ravens can get some sacks. Seamus Jameis is starting the crab legs. We're gonna be getting some dubs. We're gonna be getting some dubs because Jameis is on the field. You know Jameis, he's good for those turnovers.
Finger licking good special. That's what I'm talking about.
He gonna give you some of those, and it's gonna be finger licking good. But let us get to the keys to the game and my prediction because I don't really have to keep you guys along, like I said, with this Ravens-Browns. It's never easy. Offensively, handle the blitz. Jim Schwartz, one of the best defensive coordinators in the league, Mount St. Joe graduate. He's going to blitz a lot of you from the word go. They blitz the most in the NFL. Don't see it any different on Sunday. They're going to stack the box, bring pressure, play man, press man on the outside, and you're going to have to make your decisions quick. Secondly, with that press man pressure, wide receivers, if it's no Zay Flowers, Bateman, Aguilar, Andrews, likely, you're going to have to win against press man coverage. Denzel Ward is fantastic. Newsome and Emerson, they got some good corners. They're decent. They're pretty good, actually. They're threesome. And Delpit in the back end, you got to win one-on-one against man coverage. Thirdly, Todd Monken, make adjustments to withstand the initial punch. Jim Schwartz is going to throw some things you may not have seen so far with this Ravens offense. Some stunts, some twists, some twists, some exotic zone blitzes, probably some man-to-man blitzes. Guys are blitzing from different areas on the field where you're not expecting, maybe confusing you, where guys are faking like they're going to blitz and they drop back, and someone else comes around and they'll try to maybe confuse Rosengarten and Lele because the right side is a little weaker than the left side of the line. So they could try to do that, especially with Myles Garrett. And that gets me to my next keys. My next key. Don't let Myles Garrett wreak havoc. If we can keep him under 2 sacks, don't let him get in the backfield for tackles for loss. Don't let him get Lamar for strip sacks. 2 sacks or less. Because I think this brother, if Cleveland is smart and they're really going all in on a rebuild and they really want to get back what they gave up in the Deshaun Watson trade and sign and trade, the worst contract possibly in NFL history, you got what you got for Amari Cooper. You can get 2 runs from Myles Garrett. You can get probably something for one of your corners. You can get 4 or 5 draft picks out of some trades and really rebuild starting as soon as 2025. Next, use the screen game to combat aggressive play calling. I never thought I would say this as a Ravens fan. They are one of the best screen teams in the game. Looking like a San Francisco, looking like a Kansas City, throwing the screen as beautifully as I've ever seen it drawn up. And that is a beautiful thing that the Ravens are one of the best screen teams in the league. Use Justice Hill, use Derrick Henry, use the tight ends like Lee or Andrews, Bateman. Get the ball out quick, Aguilar, Kolar. Get the ball to them in space and let them go. You have the weaponry. Use the screen game. They're gonna pressure you. They're gonna bring that blitz. What's the best way to slow down a pass rush? Screen passes, using the draw plays. Things like that will be very, very important. And if they don't get there, Lamar, you might have to take off a little more than you want to this game. We know you're showing everyone that you're a great passer, but you may have to take off a little more than you want to this game. Defensively, let's go to the defense. Get after Jameis. Jameis does not move well in the pocket. He is a statue. So you want to make him move. Get after him. Because if you get after him, he's going to turn the ball over. And actually, with his next interception, ladies and gentlemen, he will have a milestone interception. Interception number 100.
Jam. Oh, jam.
So Jameis is going to throw that number 100 interception. Book it. Nick Chubb is back. I know last week he didn't look 100%, only had, maybe 20-something yards. Keep Nick Chubb under 50 yards. Each week he will get more and more healthy. Let's keep him under 50 yards. Last week the Ravens line didn't play their best game. Gave up a lot of running yards. Gave up a lot of easy completions. Didn't get a lot of pressure. Keep Chubb under 50 yards and don't let him beat you. Next, take David Njoku away in the middle of the field. Now, one person I don't think that's getting traded is David Njoku. He's the best weapon probably on offense right now because Chubb is working his way back. But him and Chubb are 2 playmakers that they do have to build around for the future. If they don't trade him, which I don't think they will trade him, keep Njoku out the middle of the field. Roquan Smith, Trent Simpson, you both played a magnificent game last week, the best game for both of you this year. Let's keep that energy going. I want to see them on the field more. Running around making plays. Being a proactive defense instead of reactionary. Going and attacking. See ball, get ball. Don't think about it too much. Don't overthink it. It's a simple game. See ball, get ball. Next on defense, Cleveland is the number 1 penalized team in the NFL. So use their undisciplined tendencies against them. Allow them to make those false starts. Allow them to have illegal men downfield. Allow them to rough the passer. Allow them to throw the ball up, Lamar, if you get an opportunity and get a pass interference or defensive holding or illegal contact. Utilize their undisciplined nature. They are well coached. Kevin Stefanski is a hell of a coach, two-time coach of the year, and should not be on the hot seat. They should get him a quarterback he can use and develop and give him some pieces. And I like Stefanski. He's a really good coach. He's not calling the plays anymore. Speaking of which, Ken Dorsey's going to call the plays. So it seems like Stefanski is kind of just taking the L for the season. It's like, well, let's pack it up, see what we can do, see what we have, maybe get some more draft capital, and we'll attack it again next season with the quarterback that I want. Because I don't think Deshaun Watson is going to play again for the Browns unless he's an injury replacement or the rookie isn't performing. But let them commit some penalties. And lastly on defense, keep them at 15 points or less. They only average 15 points a game. They're 32nd in points. They don't score a lot of points. They're not explosive. They traded away the best receiver. Come on, defense. This has to be a great game. We can't come into the post-game show on Sunday evening or Monday on the podcast or the next week going into Denver talking about, yeah, this defense, yeah, the Ravens are 6-2. They won 34-20 or 31-27 or 28-25. No, they shouldn't even be getting 20 points. I have them scoring over 15 by 1. So they should be dominating the Browns. And really, they should get garbage time points, if anything. But I don't think this will be a blowout. I think the Browns do cover that 9.5. Special teams, be ready. You could be the difference in this game. A kick return, a punt return. Justin Tucker may have to make 4 or 5 field goals, making your extra points. He may have to kick 2 or 3 from 50 yards out to win this game. This could be a field goal game where it's honestly not as exciting as a lot of Ravens games have been this season. Not a lot of up and down the field. Pass here, pass there. Lamar here, Lamar there. Derrick Henry here, Derrick Henry there. It may be more of a grinded out, slow type of game. You may see the Ravens come out slow offensively. Where they go 3 and out, 3 and out. Maybe only get 1 or 2 first downs in the first quarter, right? Struggle a little bit. And Lamar is maybe running around a little more than he used to. He may get sacked 2 or 3 times. But this is a game I think Ravens need to face I think maybe the best defense they faced since the Chiefs potentially. Just on a personnel standpoint with guys like Garrett, guys on the secondary, the way they're coached, similar to how the Chiefs are. They bring a lot of pressure, play physical press man, can stack the box to stop the run. Like I said, I don't think Derrick Henry's going to have a big day. If Derrick Henry gets over 80, 85 yards, I think the Ravens will be well off on the victory lane. If Lamar is running for over 50, 60 yards. But I could see Lamar possibly breaking one where Henry's struggling and Lamar pulls one out and maybe makes a guy miss and gets 40 yards down the field. It could be like that because he can do that in one play. That's what Lamar can do, and so can Henry. So you bottle up 4, 5, 6 times in a row. They only have 15, 20 yards. You see the Ravens do their best work running the football in the second half anyway. So wear you down eventually. And then in the second half, it's pretty much all hands on deck because they want to hit you with everything they got. They both want to take it off and run with it. So special teams, be ready, though. You could be the difference in this game, and you really could be the reason why a team wins or loses. So offensively, handle the blitz. Wide receivers and tight ends win against press man coverage. Tom Luck can make adjustments to withstand initial punch of the Browns. 4, don't let Miles Garrett wreak havoc. 5, use screen game to combat the aggressive play calling of the Browns on defense. Defensively, get after Jameis. Keep Nick Chubb under 50 yards. Take David Njoku away out the middle of the field. Use their undisciplined tendencies against them and keep them at 15 points or less. Special teams, be ready because we're going to need you to pull out this game. Now, what do I have in this? I mean, I had the Ravens really at the beginning of the season at about 5-2 right now going into Cleveland. I thought Cleveland would be a lot better, where this could be a game where the Ravens really could be on alert to possibly lose, but I think this will be a game there. It'll be a slow, methodical. It could be 10-3 at halftime. But I need the Ravens defense to come to play, get off the field on third down because they're not doing that well, and find a consistent pass rush. Don't let Jameis shred you. Get after him, make him turn the ball over, make him throw an interception number 100, get a strip sack. Don't let Chubb get to the second level. Defensive line, show up. You didn't play that well last week against the Buccaneers, and the offense saved you again. It's time for the defense to help out the offense and put them in a position to have an easy day if they don't have their best day. Because the question is, can this Ravens defense go out and get a timely stop? Go out, get a turnover. Go out and pretty much win a game for you if the offense isn't on their A game. Because they're not going to be on their A game every week. And this, I think, is a week where they won't be on their A game. Can the defense get enough stops, even with some of the injuries? I think so because of who they're playing. And I think if you can get out to an early lead potentially and pull away, the Browns will pack it in by the third quarter. And the fans will be leaving and booing and doing all types of obnoxious, crazy things Cleveland sports fans do. I'm going with the Ravens to get a 23-16 victory. I think they drive in the victory lane. I think they are going to be ready. I think they'll be ready to play. I think Harbaugh, who has wonderful success against the Browns, will have this team ready to play and do what needs to be done. And I think that they got it in this game. You get to 6-2. You keep pace with Pittsburgh, who has the Giants this week. And you got Pittsburgh in 2 weeks. Obviously, Denver and Pittsburgh, but it's going to be very, very interesting to see what happens. And yeah, of course, we'll be live after the game. Baltimore Ravens post-game show. Sunday evening. Myself, Big Raj, recapping the game and all the Week 8 action. We got some big games coming up. We had the Rams beat the Vikings 30-20. We got the Eagles and Bengals coming up as well. I'll put the schedule up real quick. Yeah, we got the Eagles and Bengals coming up. I actually have the Eagles winning. Of course, Ravens over the Browns, Lions over the Titans, Dolphins with Tua back over the Cardinals, Jets find a win, and a tight one over the Patriots. We want Falcons over the Buccaneers, Packers over the Jaguars, Texans over the Colts, Chargers over the Saints, Seahawks over the Bills, Broncos over the Panthers, Chiefs over the Raiders. They got D-Hop, I think he'll score a touchdown. Bears over the Commanders, probably no Jane Daniels. Cowboys over the 49ers, and Steelers on Monday night over the Giants. We've been doing good this season, so we'll see what happens. But join us for the Baltimore Ravens post-game show. I have the Ravens winning 23-16 over the Browns. Sack that subscribe button if you're new. Leave us a thumbs up. Hit stick that like button. Bulldoze that bell to know when all Ravens content and all the other videos. We got Maryland Terps videos. We got World Series previews. We have live streams galore. Check us out. Leave a comment down below. Score prediction, keys to the game, extra reports. What do you think about the Browns, the Clowns? What is there to do in Cleveland if you're going to the game? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was last week. We got that. We got, what is it? The Football Hall of Fame is 30 miles away, so not far. But yeah, the weather should be pretty decent, I think, as well. I don't think weather will be a factor either. Let's see. I don't think the weather's going to be a factor yet. I think the weather's going to be fine. It's going to be, I think the weather's going to be decent for late October football, so weather shouldn't be a factor. Ravens get a 23-16 win. Maybe a bit of a defensive struggle, not a lot of explosive offensive plays, which we become accustomed to as Rams fans now. Lamar Jackson, Derek Henry on offense, but get the win, get to 2, and we'll talk about it here on the Flex Zone. Stay tuned for more Ravens content down below. Leave your favorite emoji if you got nothing to say. We appreciate it. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one. Go Ravens. They get the victory. Move to 6-2, 23-16.